If you're waiting for the third part of the train video, it's coming. I am Drew, welcome to the Beggars Woodshop, and it is so hot out there. I just can't work, and I'm almost done. I've got to do mostly gluing, but there's like 1 or 2 pieces left to drill, and we'll be all set to go and completing that train video. But I wanted to give you guys a video in the meantime. So recently on the Shopsmith owners Facebook group, that's the owners, not the owners and sellers group, someone had asked about the instructions for the sand flea. Now, I'd never heard of this, and a few people were kind of looking at this, so I did a little hunting and a little researching, and the Shopsmith sand flea, well, it's not Shopsmith sand flea, it's just the sand flea. However, it was featured with Shopsmith. You could get it for your Shopsmith. So what is this sand flea? Well, it didn't matter which version you had, one that was with its own motor or the one that you attached to your Shopsmith headstock. It was essentially a sanding drum. A sanding drum in a box. Yeah, that's the way it's described. Even Nick Engler described it that way, which I did watch that video. If you have not, go to Shopsmith's YouTube page, go under videos, and click oldest and start to scroll down until you get to the sand flea. So there's always been something with a sanding drum, be it the individual drum you put on your drill press or on your belt sander from Shopsmith, or building your own large drum to help kind of plane down items. Yeah, it's right there in Power Tool Woodworking for Everyone. I point up there because that's where my copy is. Well, if that sanding drum is like a planer, this sanding drum, the sand flea, is like an 18-inch wide jointer. Yes, that's essentially it. It's like a jointer for sanding. You may ask, why? Why would I need something like this? Well, sometimes when we're planing down items, we just want to just kiss, because it's just that fine and keep it smooth. It also helps to smooth large stock. There's a gentleman on YouTube here. I'll leave a link in the description to his video. He makes guitars, electric guitars, and the wooden frame that he uses, well, he uses his version of the sand flea. He actually built one of his own that allows him to take off, smooth everything down with its awkward shape. He also has his set up, he says so at the very end, where he pulls out the bottom piece and it's the drum sander for planing. Pretty neat, I say. But the sand flea was supposed to be portable, and again, you just want that kiss, just kiss it in. Sometimes, too, I remember this from an episode of the New Yankee Workshop, you want to remove the surface, but it's going to be very hard on your jointer or planer blades. So you need something smoother. And if you have something like this, or a wide belt sander, you could just smooth and kiss and take off what you need bit by bit. Now, the sand flea is not one grip and you gotta peel it off, clean it off, and apply a new adhesive. No, this is hook and loop, or Velcro, whatever you want to call it. So you can easily sand, quickly take off the next grit, put on the next grit, whatever the case, old grit, new grit. And you did cut at a very particular angle. The sand flea was supposed to come with a template, so you could cut at the correct angle your paper so you can wrap around tightly and close together. This is actually something very interesting. I like this concept much better than trying to use something that maybe you have to try and push through and you're going to have a lot of kickback because maybe you did something wrong or you can't see. But primarily, this is good because of the dust collection. Everything's below you. Now in the video, Nick Engler describes that even without the dust collector, this thing did a great job not creating plumes that fill the air. Smoke, he called it directly, no smoky air. But there is a dust collector attachment, always recommended no matter what you're sanding. For those who want to know, this would attach to the headstock on the left-hand side. So you would mount it into the same place you put your bandsaw and hook it up. You would have to align and set, yes. And so that should help you when I say it, the left-hand side, I'm referring to if the headstock control was facing me. So it's there on the left. I haven't seen anyone market this, a Shopsmith version before, so I had never heard of this before. I think this is very interesting, and you should go check it out for yourself. I'm sure it wouldn't be too difficult to build something that would be easy to use and powered on its own. One other special feature that I saw when I was looking some of this up is, I mentioned the singular drum, that small 3-inch drum, as it were. Well, you could also attach that on the opposite end of the sand flea from, and when I say the opposite end, I mean opposite end from your headstock or your motor. You could attach that there, just like what you do with a belt sander, or you could also attach, I briefly saw this image, I hope I can find it again, a flexible shaft. Though, for the life of me, a flexible shaft, a little different setup for the toolage that you're using. I could go into the whole thing, but I won't. We're talking about the sand flea. So, is this something worth having or getting? Yes, yes. You may not always think of it, but it is something that would be worth having, and in fact, would help you with sanding some of the larger pieces when you're trying to just make everything nice and smooth, instead of just getting out your hand sanders. And although, truth be told, the more time we spend with our tool, the more we get to know our tool, the better we are at it. But we're not always thinking that way. Sometimes we want to think a little bit more, shall we say, industrial, and want to get it out quick. Some of us are more aggressive. Guilty as charged. Especially in turning, I'm an aggressive turner, and I shouldn't be. Delicate's very tricky for me. But otherwise, yes, this is a good tool to have. It would be nice to see something like this pop up and enter into my collection. I will say that. Be it the Shopsmith attached version or the non-Shopsmith attached version. Either way is good for me. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to get this out to you, just in case maybe you might not have heard it, because I certainly didn't. I got all kinds of little tiny things I haven't heard of with Shopsmith. I'm still trying to learn about all the various, not just tools and accessories, but even some of the little, we'll call it merch or knickknacks. Things like belt buckles or bathrobes. Yes, they did. They did have some kind of bathrobe. Was it a bathrobe or a lab coat? I probably just left the text that tells me which it is, so look at the text, it's correct. Well, that's all for now. Hopefully the weather will cool down and I can actually do the final project. Okay, it's so hot, I've had to record this inside at 11:30 at night, something like that. I'm trying to see the little mini clock on the side here. But stay tuned, and hopefully I will see you next time right here on the Beggars Woodshop.